add a couple things here. So that way we can do where everybody can communicate. I'm just trying to paste it. Welcome members. Okay, yeah, that's. So we're gonna start touching bases with some of the car news while we get everything wrapped up. This week we went to Toyota and we went to BMW, Maserati, we went to Land Rover. So we went to a few different dealerships so that way we can check out what's going on with the latest things. And so far, the big concern really is the tariffs. Everybody is starting to get concerned because of the 25% tariffs that are supposed to be implemented soon. My recommendation is to start looking for a vehicle if that's what you're considering in the next few months. I wouldn't really go too much past December because I'm assuming around January is when that will start taking place. Ferrari just announced yesterday that they're going to add 25% onto their vehicles to offset the tariffs. So there's already companies that's starting to implement that. As for Volkswagen and Audi and also Porsche, they are going through some transitions because they're trying to basically open up facilities to build the vehicles in America so they can offset that 25% tariff. But the problem ultimately, none of these things are going to come into play quick enough. So ultimately, all the companies are going to raise the price for getting a new vehicle. Remember to guard your price. I don't know why it's not allowing me to do this. I'm trying to, there we go. Trying to add for the Discord and it's not allowing me to add. I don't know why. So I guess I have to wait till I get the first questions that pop up. Community, no, it's not showing me anything here either. Anyways, so going back to some car news, the Toyota with the new RAV4, they are going to, it's still kind of in the air for what they're doing with the engine, but they are going to have a plug-in hybrid. They're going to have just a regular hybrid, and there is some talks of a full EV. It's still not necessarily 100% done with that. And the refresh, I kind of think it feels like or looks kind of like a Crown, the way they're doing everything. So, I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. I like the interior and the way they are doing the updates. It's just everything is kind of going into that hybrid. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, James. Let me see if I can somehow chat with you guys so I can, I'm trying to post. It's not allowing me to post. So what I'm going to do is put the link for the Discord on the chat, on the, what is it called? The community tab. I just posted it there. So if you go into the community tab, you can join the Discord and then you can speak through the Discord that way. And then going back to some more auto news with Audi, they are doing a lot of refresh. We did just release the RS6 Avant, awesome vehicle, but it is under a refresh as well. They're going to be changing the lighting for the front and the rear. The interior is going to be more updated as well. The price is obviously going to be updated with that. Hello from India. Hello, how are you? Thanks for letting us know where you're from. That's cool. Will the Crown Signia be tariffed? Your friend Jeffrey. So all vehicles is going to have some tariffs. From my understanding, it has to be 100% made or assembled in America. So right now, it's kind of up in the air which specific cars will get the tariffs, but the way I'm seeing it already, since Ferrari already said that they're going to implement 25% increase in price, they're going to do it across the board for all trims. What this live is about. So we're doing questions and answers. You can ask any questions and I answer them. We also go over car news. Some other things about the tariffs. Audi and Porsche are really struggling a little bit more so with it because of the increase in their prices. Toyota, I'm not seeing too much of a concern yet, but in the same aspect, I'm expecting that to increase also. Hello, what do you do for a living? I review vehicles for a living. That's what the channel is about. Explaining vehicles for the interior, exterior. I take them for a test drive and show the difference in performance in the vehicles. How's your son doing? He's doing great. He's doing a project that's due, I think, next week. So he's just finishing that. Car shopping, we went today and we checked out a bunch of different cars. We went to BMW. we went to Land Rover, we went to Maserati, and we already went to Audi and Porsche, so we didn't actually add that on there. But we went through a few and we're kind of seeing which one we're going for right now. With BMW, they had a XB7, so it is something that we're considering. We're putting that on the list. It's a little bit longer than some of the family likes, but they also like the X6M competition, so they were able to see one of those. With Range Rover, we looked at the SV, we looked at an autobiography with the BMW engine, so we got a few of those. What vehicles you own? I own a Maserati and an Infiniti. Having a vehicle is a luxury in my country. I think in any country, really, having a vehicle is, but you do have to, in America, everything's kind of more further away, so you have to drive somewhere, and a lot of the transportation isn't as easy to get to. So we don't have transit, so like buses and trains, so you basically have to buy a vehicle. What about the SQ8? We did see an SQ8 today. Yeah, we saw one today. It was a smoked out gray with oversized wheels, so it had 23-inch wheels. We didn't look inside it, but it looked like it had the carbon package, and it looked like it had the hot weather, or the weather package, so it has the ventilated front seats and the heated rear seats with the quad climate control. The X5M, she didn't like the X5M as much as the X6. She likes that coupe design. Are you guys getting new or used? If we go for BMW, probably pre-owned. If we do the Maserati, it may be new because of the deal that they're giving us. What year? We are looking at probably a 24 model. If they have any 25s, then we could possibly look at those also. And then for the SQ8, probably a 24, so that way you get the refresh. The 25 will have the more performance, so that one is going to be, it would be nice to get that, but I don't know. The pricing is, it's a little bit higher too. You should get a Cayenne Turbo. She doesn't like the Porsche as much, so that's why we didn't go into Porsche. They had a bunch of them today, and she didn't even want to go over there, so we didn't even go. Range Rover, she didn't like the interior of them. She felt that they were too minimalistic, and it didn't look aggressive enough on the exterior for her. She just didn't like Porsche. She felt that it looked simple. That's more or less the way she put it. She liked the aggressive look of the BMWs, and then she liked the M8 competition more than a Gran Turismo. Range Rover, yeah, I mean, I took her to look at the Range Rover. She just didn't it didn't appeal to her. We looked at 4 or 5 of them and then just left. So it looks like BMW is kind of more towards the end. We didn't go to Mercedes. I might go to Mercedes tomorrow. We're just kind of seeing what's going on with that. And Mercedes, actually going back to some auto news, they are not putting the V8 twin turbo in the C63. They reconfirmed that they're not going to do that. So it's still going to be the smaller engine. My name is, can you say hi, please? I am your fan. Hi. What about GLE 53 AMG? I like the 63 a little bit better. The 53 is nice, but you're already spending about 110,000. So you might as well go into like a 63S, and then I believe it's about $10,000 more. So when you're already at those prices, it's not usually that much of a difference, and most of the time you can get a better deal. Tariffs are going to affect all cars in general, like I was kind of touching bases with at the beginning. The 25%, Ferrari already said that they're implementing it. That being said, since they have taken the more drastic changes, it's going to be the same thing with all the auto industries. I'm assuming within the next few weeks to months, you're going to start seeing that. That's why I've been suggesting to people, if you're looking for a vehicle, you may want to start looking, probably December being the latest, because once those tariffs hit, it's going to cost a lot more money. So what your dream car, 3-car garage, if you had 3 of your dream cars, tariffs on all countries. So for auto cars, tariffs are going to be on all cars. They said all the industries, unless they're built in America. But even that being said, a lot of the counterparts are sourced from other countries. So even vehicles like Tesla could get hit with some tariffs also. But because they build things here, I'm sure they're going to have something in the actual bill where if you build a percentage of it in the United States, then it's going to offset, or you don't have to pay that tariff. I think that it's a great idea that we're adding tariffs. I just don't like how it's going to affect everything, because we don't have I guess the best way to explain it is like you create something and now you're trying to change it, but you don't have an alternative to the change. And everyone's used to what you created. So that's kind of the issue that I have ultimately. Same thing with like the jobs where they're cutting jobs. I like that they're doing that because it's giving more money to the country, but then they're not giving a replacement to those jobs they're cutting. So it's in a sense counterproductive because of that issue. I gotta scroll up, sorry. If you had 3 cars, so right now because we have to get a third car, we're just trying to see what is the best way to go because we have a third driver now also. My third car, SQ8 or a M60 X5, they're both awesome vehicles. I mean, she tends to like the M competition a little bit better, like I said, for the X6. Wouldn't more manufacturers open up jobs in theory? Yes. So that's the theory behind it, but then you have to put in the equation, it's going to take 2 to 3 years to open those jobs because they have to find the land, then they have to get the permits to build the building. I was going to build a plaza years ago, and I used to own restaurants. I sold my restaurants before COVID. To build a plaza takes at least 9 months to 18 months. So you figure that's about 2 years just to build it. Then you have to acquire the land, which could take anywhere from 6 months to a year. So it's going to create jobs, but this is more of like a 4 or 5 year spread. So if you're going to add something right off the bat, saying 25% tariffs to everybody, the issue that you have with that is you don't have anything to offset it. There's no way they can make those vehicles here because they don't have the factory. I do have the link. It's on the community tab. I couldn't post it. It doesn't let me post on my phone. I can only read questions here. So if you want to go into the Discord link is I posted it on the community tab. So it's there. You'll just click into it and you'll be able to talk live with us on this live stream. My other 3, what about the Urus? The Urus, we're still kind of looking. They have got some new inventory. So just kind of trying to find for features. Do you like BMW? Yes. BMW, I like it a lot. Hey, Ethan. So the Discord link, I just replied to you on that. It's on the community tab. Have you thought about the Urus? Just explain Tesla doing horrible. Yeah, 100% short term. Yep. Do you like BMW? BMW? Yes. So like I said, I like BMW. Awesome vehicles. Urus, we're looking at 22 and up. You can't buy a new one unless somebody bought it and got rid of it and it's still pre-owned. Not a fan of BMW interior. I mean, it's a give or take. I like the interior. I like the leather. Some people like the Sensifin, but I think the leather, it also has a nice scent in the interior. You should get a Urus for a good price. Yeah, I mean, if you get anything underneath, like a 21 and under, you can get them a lot less in price. 22 and up is going to hold its value a little bit more, so they're more in the 200,000 price. I like Benz interior more. The interior is more soft in the Benz, and it's more cushion in the seat. BMW has kind of made it a little bit more sport derived, so the seat doesn't have as much cushion in it. Welcome to your first, okay, got it. I think, did anyone click in? No? Maybe? Let's see. Voice. Trying to go into this. Okay, so right now, I don't think anyone's on the Discord yet. So anyone gets onto the Discord, just let me know here, so that way I can put it in. Turn on camera. Oh, you can. Got it. Okay. Sorry, first time using the Discord for this, and we're trying to link it so you guys don't have to just chat with the actual text. You can speak, but for some reason, no one's went in yet. Oh, here we go. Anyone want to? I don't think that's ours. No, that's not ours. Anyway, so let me go back to these real quick. Why 22 and up, they did some updates. 23, they did more updates. So those are usually the 2 that you want to go into. The other ones, you have to pay for like additional screenage, so they'll only have 2 screens instead of the 3-screen layout, and also performance. They started increasing performance in the next coming years. The Performante came out in 23, so you can't even get that as an option in a 21 variant or under. Also the ambient lighting, center console, etc. Yeah, they do a lot of lightings. Mercedes goes a little bit above and beyond with that. I like it, and they give you a ton of different colors, so I think that is awesome. Group call, okay, there we go. Invite. Oh, I already did that. I don't know. It's not allowing anyone in. So like I said, let me know. Do you like Mercedes? Yes, we already said that. You should try 21. I mean, Porsche. I mean, Mercedes does a great job with the ambient lighting. They're all kind of doing. I joined the server. Thanks. Awesome. Let me know if you can, or just kind of speak in it, so that way we can see if it's working for the Discord. I have my volume all the way up, but it's, I don't know. Oh, there we go. I think say hi. Okay, so I'm saying hi to people, but it's not allowing me to communicate otherwise, like with speech. Okay, well, let me know if you guys are able to get into it and communicate. So I have a question. I found a 2019 Urus 159. Can I haggle the price? Yes, it's white, so white is going to be more of a basic color. With the Urus, things that you need to keep in mind, they don't come standard with a 360-degree reverse camera. The interior doesn't come standard with stitch work or different contrast colors. It doesn't come standard with heated rear seats or quad climate control. So when you start going base, you have a little bit more buying power. Therefore, you could get a better deal. I would haggle probably, if that's internet price, maybe 5 to 10 grand is the most you can do. Check how long that it's been there, because with 40,000 miles, you might even be able to knock it down to about 139. It's a possibility, but I would obviously start with the lower number. Try to contact the person to see where they're at with it and how long it's been listed. Because the longer it's listed, the less features it has, the better it is going to be. Also, we should create a media channel. A media channel? Okay, I will look into that as well. Even though I can get a SQ8 with the same engine. Yeah, I mean, the SQ8 is an awesome vehicle. They don't hold their value as much as the RSQ8. And if you're looking at an SQ8, I sometimes recommend the SQ7, so that way you have the third row. You can actually get a better deal with the SQ7 than the SQ8, and it's the same engine, same performance numbers. So it's just something to also throw out there. I'm planning to keep it. If you're planning on keeping it, then yeah, I mean, go for the Porsche or go for the SQ8. The Lamborghini, with higher miles, the only concern that I have is the turbos, because if it's, say, 3-4 owners deep, you could have potential issues with those. The SQ8, it's going to be, I wouldn't do the Bentley. The Bentley kind of loses a lot more value, even though the Bentley is faster than all of them in the segment. For some reason, and they don't have the V8 the W12 anymore, so that's also an issue. Since they've dropped the W12, it's also dropped a lot more in value. Isn't a V8 strong? V8 is strong, but the W12 is obviously what a Bentley is. That's what they're all about, is their W12 engine. Can you help me find the cheapest Urus? I will check on some Urus, and then next live stream for next week, I will let you know which ones I have. Or if you want, whenever another video comes out, just put in the comments, and then I'll put a couple links for you, so that way it's a little bit easier for the 2019. Try to get something with some colors that pop, because if you just get a base color, it's going to be hard to get rid of it, because literally it's a basic car. In the auto industry, they typically say it's like an Uber car. And I understand it's a Urus, it's freaking expensive. By no means it's something you're going to Uber in. But because it's the base color, the free colors, they tend to go, or trend to go, a lot more inexpensive. If you go to the GTS, that could hold its value a little bit more so than the Lamborghini. Drop the sub, good value, bro. Gotta run, thank you very much, I appreciate that. The turbo is going to hold the value the most, but with that being said, I would personally look into a pre-owned, so that way you lose that depreciation. And again, because of the tariffs that's going to be going into place, the auto industry is going to increase. So with that being said, hold on one second. Thoughts on an M4 Competition 2025? Awesome vehicle. You got more performance. I have several reviews of that vehicle already. Upgraded tech, so you have iDrive 8.5. Near perfect 50-50 weight distribution. They increased horsepower. The suspension is better. The sound deadening is a little bit better. If you go 24, you're going to notice a difference. I would suggest that you drive a 24 just to see, but you also get the CSL rear lights on the 25. So you're literally getting like, BMW's been doing some crazy stuff lately. Every year they've just been updating a lot of stuff. So if you get the 25, only concern that I'm going to have is, are they going to change a lot of things for 26? Because now for the M3 and the M350i, that's going to be the new variant, is also the i3. They are already starting to test. I did get some info, just kind of light info, which obviously it's on the LCI. That being said, the M4 shouldn't be on an LCI, but like I said, they've been trending about changing things. Like 24 is when they implemented the new tech. 25, they gave you the iDrive 8.5. So one thing to also note is the 8.5 is something that's going to last longer. The 8.0, if you get a newer, like a older model variant 24, it may not get some of the updates of the 8.5. That was something that, I don't know why they did that, but they're still having issues with some of the updates. I wouldn't take it out of town if town. Okay, so if you're just driving it in and out of town, saving miles, then, I mean, you found a Bentley with 69, you think 69,000. You could probably haggle it, but it sounds like it's the V8 and probably like a 19 model with some higher miles. Just be cautious whenever you're looking at that, because the owners also can affect the actual durability of the vehicle. Don't get a base color on, don't get any base colors on anything that's performance like an M4. Do like a Dravid gray metallic, do like the blue color, or there's a really yellow color that pops really well. You can do those also. I think they make the car kind of stand out a little bit more so. Interior, don't make it look like a clown. So if you're going to do yellow, don't put red inside. Kind of be, intelligent with the color picking, but make it look unique. Definitely add the features to it so it stands out. Because if you get a base M4 competition, you're still going to have, some value there, but the features is really what makes the vehicles right now. I like the Hellcat sound. Oh, and that's actually another thing I wanted to touch base is the V8s are all coming back for Dodge, Jeep, the whole lineup. So they are 2026, there's the release for it, so expect them to come probably before December for 2026 variants on the early note. And then they are doing some updates with the Challenger and the Charger. One of them is going to be more or less a carryover, and they're going to just basically implement the Hemi engine and the more powerful variants in the electric style. So I think it's going to be cool, but I mean, it's kind of, just let me know what your thoughts are on that. Is it bad I want a Urus? Should I get, which car brand has the best and worst resale value? That's a great question, Ethan. The best resale value is between Toyota, Honda, Mazda, not all of them now. So if you get like a fully loaded, spec'd out Grand Highlander, it's not going to hold its value as much as maybe an SE Toyota Camry. So whenever you're looking at vehicles that are more everyday driven, you kind of want to go into not base 100%, but base will hold its value. But sometimes step it up to the next trim, because if you go to like a Camry LE, you can get a convenience package, but when you go into the SE, you get the bigger screens. Same engine, so the only difference would be front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive to change the horsepower, which is not a significant difference. But the interior also changes, and you get more colors when you go into the SE opposed to the LE, which I actually took a screenshot of a Facebook post. Somebody was saying they were showing like 80s vehicles to now, and the colors were amazing. Like literally it looked like 20 different colors, where now we only have usually a choice of like 8 to 10 colors. It's pretty, I think it's pathetic. We really need more colors, and they should stop charging us premiums for some of the cool colors. Like a Dravid gray metallic, I think that should be just a free color from BMW. I had a 2023 Toyota Tundra 1794 edition, awesome edition. Yep, brand new. Yeah, it's at least 70 grand, if not more. Mid-50s when I got rid of it late January. So you've had it about 2 years. How many miles did you have on it? because that also plays a role. Haven't posted yet, so we'll see. Comparing Urus SQ8, I would go Urus. You're not going to put a lot of miles on it. Service, though, is going to be more expensive. So the service is going to be at least double the price going to an Audi dealer. And yes, you can take your Lamborghini to an Audi dealer. If you go to Lamborghini, you're going to be paying over $5,000 for an oil change. My friend had a 2025 X5 xDrive 40i in Tanzanite blue, which is yep, the Tanzanite blue is awesome. My father-in-law actually has a Tanzanite blue. He just bought a 840i with the M Sport package in Europe. He got it pre-owned, 2 years old. He paid 48,000 pounds. So translate that to United States dollars. Right now we're kind of lower. I would imagine about 55,000, less than 60 grand. Wait, you can, what? Are you sure? Because you know they're different brands. Yes, you can take them. I actually called Audi. I called several Audi dealerships, and you can service them. And then when I went to my new Audi team, they had a Lamborghini Urus Performante outside getting an oil change, and my teammates were actually making fun of him. They were saying, he bought a Performante for over $400,000. He's bringing it here because he's saving 50% on service. Just kind of funny. You're welcome. Also, another thing that I wanted to bring to the channel is if you buy a vehicle, anytime you buy a vehicle, you are insured for 2 weeks, regardless whether you put insurance or not. So if a dealership says, no, you can't leave the lot because I need proof of insurance, that's a lie. You are, by law, insured for 2 weeks. Now, it is good that you get your insurance, but driving off the lot, you are actually insured through them for 2 weeks. They just like to play that game because they don't want to insure you. Oh, thank you very much. OnlyFans link? I don't have no OnlyFans link. Hey, can I lease it? You can lease, I don't think you'd be able to lease a 2019, but you could probably get a 2023 model Urus lease because they have a ton of them with very low miles. Depends on your state. Yeah. 80% chance the tariffs Canada go away in like, I mean, right now, I feel like the countries collectively need to start talking. What's happening with the tariffs and what's going on with the scenario? We give a lot of money overseas to other countries. We do that without loans. Other countries give it as loans. So they get the money back plus interest. We don't. So what happens is we keep getting screwed by helping things and buying from other areas, and they're charging us fees, but we're not making any money on the back end. So it's a little bit unfair, obviously. And it's hard to have a fair trade market because of the way the market is actually developed. That being said, to just implement the 25% tax, like I was saying at the beginning, it's going to affect us for more than 2 to 4 years because there's no way we can fix anything. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 years. Because like I was saying, you have to acquire the land, you got to build the plaza. It takes time. Those permits take minimum 6 months to 12 months. Plus it takes another 9 months to 18 months to break ground and build the actual facility. And it takes 6 months to a year to buy the land or acquire the land. I'm trying to get a 2019, 2022 so I can get money off. I am in Florida. I want to spend 10K. Any recommendations? What kind of vehicle are you looking for in particular? Is it something that's just daily? You want something more sporty? Do you want a sporty car that's actually with performance? Tell me about a Lamborghini. Tell me about their program. So Lamborghini, you have to service them. They have a 4-service program. And it also depends on year, because if you go Performante, sometimes they suggest a 2-service warranty, meaning like the first warranty is inexpensive, the next one's more expensive. Their programs, if you buy them through the dealership, you're going to be buying like a second hand one. It's going to be more of the dealership, not really Lamborghini at a 2019. But if you go 23 and up, you could possibly get something that's more integrated through Lamborghini, so the service would be a little bit better. RS6 Avant is going away for after 2025. So again, with Audi, they're all up in the air. There's talks about them returning the TT. The R8 is returning. So I'm not disqualifying anything from Audi until I get like something set in stone, because they're all over the place and their sales are kind of tanking because they have increased the price quite a bit. So that being said, with their new integration in the new MMI software, that is going to be across the board for 2025.5 and 2026 models, but it still may not be in all 26 models for North America. So that's why I'm saying for the RS6 Avant, I mean, I could see that probably sticking around, considering they're talking about bringing back the TT, and the R8 has already been confirmed that they're bringing that back. Oh, certified. So if you go certified, then the warranty wise, it's not going to cover any services, but it's going to cover everything bumper to bumper. So if anything breaks in the interior, if you have any issues with the turbos, all that's going to be covered. But you're still going to pay maintenance fees, which I would recommend. If you're getting it certified, you may want to take it to Lamborghini, but you're going to pay a little bit more money on the service, typically a couple grand more than you would pay in Audi. Bro, Florida, 10K, recommendations, 30 miles a day, driven average. Okay, so I would look at Toyota, Honda, and Mazda, depending on the performance look that you're wanting on the exterior. Service-wise, all of them are going to be inexpensive. You can even consider Hyundai, Kia. They are also great variants, and you can get them pretty inexpensive, especially if you're looking for something that for $10,000, you're wanting something that's going to be less. So the Kia K5, you could get the GT line, so you have a sporty look. The interior is nice and soft. You get great MPGs, and it's a vehicle that'll last. For $10K, I have a friend that actually just bought one. I think it had like 101,000 miles. He paid $12,000 for it, and it was like 4 years old. He's had it now for over 6 months. No issues. I talk to the guy almost every single day. If you go Toyota, that's going to hold their value a little bit more so, and the same thing with Honda. Mazda will be okay as well with holding value, but you'll have, if you get a higher mile one, you can get a better deal. You'll end up having to look at like a Corolla, so that's why I was suggesting to maybe even counter shop with Kia and Hyundai. You could get a Sonata, which will have a lot of interior space. It'll be more towards like 80,000 miles, maybe a little bit less. But the longevity of the vehicles, they all last pretty good. I mean, if you look around the roads, you see a lot of Hyundais, Kias, Fords, Toyotas, and Honda itself. So they'll last. If you're worried about longevity, I wouldn't worry so much in that perspective. But when you're getting these smaller turbos, try to hit a higher RPM here and there, just so that way it kind of cleans out the carbon. Is it true that in Japan they don't make Mazda 5? Fate is calling me to get the car. So I would definitely get it. Toyota, Mazda, Honda, okay. Yes, both of them are okay. And Mazda is also doing a lot of work with Toyota and with some of their new variants. The CX-5 is getting a refresh, but that's not going to be in the 10 grand variant. And they're also changing their engine platform. It's going to be 2027 was supposed to be for the release of the Sky Active. It's called Sky Active G now. The new one is Sky Active. I can't remember the letter. Sorry. But that is going to be in 26, supposedly for a CX-5, which is their SUV. Good afternoon, Sean. How are you? Yeah, I was really excited about the TT. I actually been talking about it to my wife all day. I saw a TT and I said, I hope they come back with the TT-RS. That is a freaking awesome vehicle. It's basically a camouflage R8. I don't know why they even discontinued the vehicle. When they did, and I reviewed the last model, I think it was 23, and 24 was the last year, which they didn't even get a 24. I was so disappointed. 28K for a 23 Honda Accord Touring with 17,000 miles. How is that? Or do you think I can get it down to 25? It's been sitting on the lot since December. It's either this or a 25. Okay, so because of the price being, if you're wanting to spend 25 grand, I mean, the Camry, you're not going to get hardly anything off of it. I could see them dropping it to 25,000, especially it's being at the end of the month. Like I just went to BMW, they have an XB7 on the lot. He said if you order it, it's going to take minimum 5 months because they shut down the factory for 2 weeks. That being said, he texted me back and he said, make me a deal of whatever. They want to sell vehicles right now. This is the end of the quarter. So I would offer them 24.5. I wouldn't even offer them 25. I would say 24.5. I'm buying it today. I'm coming right now to pick it up. And I'm almost guaranteed that they'll do it. What about the What did you do? So we're still waiting on the QX60. We have the QX60. They've approved everything up to the point of the paperwork. So I've been calling for 2 weeks. I haven't been able to get any response. At this point, we're hoping that they finish it because we have to register it in like less than 20 some days. And I don't really want to throw $50 away to re-register the vehicle. And then they say, oh, we're going to give you a 25 variant. So we're going to end up getting a 25. That's what we're pushing for instead of doing the buyback so we have more equity. And then we're going to debate whether to keep it or to trade it. If we trade it, either the two cars that she's looking at is the XB7 or the X6 M60i. She likes those two variants. Is it true? Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm catching up here with everything. Was anybody able to get into the Discord server? Because I haven't been able to see anything with that. I'm just trying to go onto the Discord real quick. Give me 1 second. And let me scroll here. Because I'm not hearing any. Okay, so I don't know. Just let me know if you guys are able to connect into there. I have posted a couple things in there, but I haven't had anything posted back. Is it true that Japan, they don't make many Mazda 5s? Right now with Mazda itself, the way they're putting themselves is they're doing a lot of refresh. So with the Mazda 5 itself, they sell it there. Do they have a lot of them? I mean, when they sell the vehicle, they sell it. So it also depends on, what is it called? I'm fasting, so sometimes the words come in and out. The demand of the vehicle. So in certain regions, if the demand isn't there, then they may not overpopulate it, but they do sell them there. So if you don't find one in your region, I would probably look online, something kind of within 100 miles or go in kilometers, and that way you can see which one would have more of the Mazda 5. Kia K5, Corolla, Sonata. That's a tough one. The Sonata, the K5 are kind of the same, more or less. The K5, you could have it a little bit more sporty. You can do the inline also in the Sonata. The Corolla, I would suggest going into the Hyundai or Kia only because of that CVT transmission. I understand it's not the same as the other CVT transmissions, but they still do have some kinks and problems. And usually when you're spending about 10 grand, you're already at 100,000 miles. With the Kia and the Sonata, you could potentially get them under, meaning maybe 70 to 80,000 miles, so the longevity will be a little bit better. Also, where do I get them from? Any platforms? So I would go, depending on the country that you're at, Auto Trader is usually better than Car Gurus. You usually get a little bit better deal. I would actually search cars for sale online, put that into the Google search tab. That way, whenever you're searching it, you could pull up dealers that are locally and click into them and zero in. Because a lot of these dealers, when you're buying vehicles that's $10,000, and I know you're in Florida, they're not going to put a lot of the $10,000 cars on something like Car Gurus. But you can find it on even Carfax.com. That's a pretty good one. They have a little bit less like expensive vehicles because these are more free platforms, so they don't have to pay money. Car Gurus, companies typically have to spend about $1,000 a month. So that's why they're more for higher end cars, but they do put inexpensive cars there too. Then get a Urus maybe. I mean, I would get the Urus if you're in that price point. GLE is crappy car, so get GLS. The GLS is awesome. It's a bigger vehicle though. The GLE is smaller, so that's the reason why. And like Mercedes, they have a ton of different SUVs. I feel like they do something similar to Toyota and Lexus, where they have so many damn choices, it makes it complicated. BMW has been lowering the choices because we're not going to have an X4 for 2026. And when you go to Mercedes, they're just like, you know what, let's have literally every single damn size. We want a size that you could put a foot in. We want a size you could put a leg in. We want a size you could put somebody in the back seat. It's just too many choices. Also, Lexus for the NX, surprisingly enough, it's still up in the air from my research on it. they're not really suggesting that it's going to get a refresh. So the RAV4 will get the refresh, which, funny enough, Toyota products give the refresh first to Toyota, then Lexus gets it the next year. So if you're looking at an NX, you may want to hold off to 27 because 26, there's nothing confirmed of like a full refresh. That being said, when you go into Nissan, Infiniti gets refreshed first. That's why the QX80 came out before the Armada. Because I thought about the M5. M5 is awesome. Where do I look for those vehicles? I just kind of gave you that insight. I would go to Carfax. I would go to autotrader.com. Those are very good sites. I am looking to develop some things of websites so that way it can also help with car searches and purchases and also financing vehicles. That is something that we are trying to bring to the channel, and we're working with different people. It's taking a little bit longer than I was hoping. I posted my QX60 in general. I didn't see anything. Did you post it on the Discord? Can you see my comment? I don't see any comments on there. I'm going into, oh, there, yep, I see it. You have a white one. And it's next to a Lyric. Is that a Lyric? You have a ton of vehicles. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. I got a bunch of vehicles here posted. All right, so we know that's working. Adam is on there. I'm assuming your name is Adam. I love my Nissan GTR. GTR is awesome. Congratulations. That is a very great car. What's my favorite Audi? Your favorite Audi is a SQ8. Why are they get rid of the X4? And I love my Audi R8. Yeah, the R8 is awesome. That is a great vehicle. I wanted to purchase one years ago. They went up on the price a little bit too much, I feel, because now they're literally like Lamborghini money. Then they discontinued it. Now they're coming back out. So I'm actually excited that they're coming back out, not just to bring it onto the channel, but I mean, maybe, I don't think they're going to discount the car. It's going to be expensive, especially by the time that they come out with the tariffs will be implemented. The X4, just kind of cleaning up the segment, the X4 wasn't really like a popular seller for BMW, and the X4 was the only true M car you could actually get a discount on. The R8, I like them. I just, like I said, I mean, you're talking $200,000+ for one spec'd out for performance. If you go for the Spider, you're at 230, 240. It's literally Lamborghini money. It's just very expensive. That's the only reason why I wouldn't go for an R8. But they do hold their value relatively well for the most part. And I also have been getting a few people have been commenting on the comment tabs from different videos that comments have been getting removed. I haven't been removing any comments, so I don't remove anything at all. YouTube's algorithm is a little bit weird, like I'm getting comments right now, so that's why I'm moving my hands around so much. What happens is it puts it onto like let me see if I can explain it a little bit better. So it gives it to me on a published and held. So when I click on held, I can see comments that's held. Like right now, somebody said, interesting neighborhood, laugh out loud. So for some reason, it's holding laugh out loud. Now on the algorithm, I can change settings where certain words would be pulled out and be held. But none of those words I have held in the search. I usually have like, bad words like the F word, or if somebody says the A word, the S word. But even that, depending on the way you put it, it will not usually take it out or hold it. So for some reason, YouTube has been blocking things. I can't see it on the phone. I have to physically go into my computer to see some of those that are blocked. So if any comments have been blocked, I'm sorry. I have not blocked any of them. I promise. And you can see by the way I go really aggressive with comments back with people. I like the interaction, so I would not block any comments because that would just kind of be pointless considering I interact so much with everybody. You should get a certified one. Are you gonna get a tune? I mean, I'm guessing he's talking to someone else. You should get an M8. M8s are awesome. The one that we looked at today was just basic. The exterior was nice, but it was all black on black. And I kind of want some like the Fiona Red or the Tartufu interior. It just has a little bit more of a pop. Hawkeye, can you see my message on Discord? Yes, I did. I saw your message on Discord. Did you post another message? Actually, hold on. Maybe I didn't see your message. Did you have the white Infinity? You have a white Infinity QX60? Do you have Hawk Pods installed in your car? Hawk Pods? What's a Hawk Pods? I don't know what that is. But if I get some more exotic cars, I'm thinking about putting something like, for the channel. I don't actually advertise the channel. I just, I review the vehicles with different dealerships. We have great relationships, and then I work with a YouTube agent that I've been trying to work out some of these kinks that we've been having. I post in general on the server. Yes. Okay, yeah. So I got the white Infinity, and then I have this, it looks like a Lyric, and it looks like a Land Rover, a Corvette, a Ram, and another Corvette. I do like Bentleys. We actually looked at a Bentley briefly, but the interior wasn't intriguing enough, so that's why. Would you consider getting a Camry XSE? I would. The only thing that discourages me with the new, is this the refresh to 2025 or the 2024? While I'm waiting for you, I'll just explain. So for the XSE for 2025, they don't come fully loaded. This is more of a aesthetics on the exterior. You get more features on the interior, but you still have to add features, and I feel that that's the downfall. I usually like when they add the white SUV is, yes, so I'm getting your messages right here. I got your message on Discord. So the no Camrys, that's a down. Oh, Camrys are good vehicles. I personally have had a couple. So I like that they offer features, but when you go for a fully loaded vehicle, I feel that they shouldn't have features. Now it should just be fully loaded, because that's the whole point of going fully loaded. And there's some discrepancy because people say, well, the XSE and the XSE are not fully loaded vehicles. The XLE would be the fully loaded, but really it's more of aesthetics. You get more features on the XLE, the XSE, you get the sport tuned suspension that's both on the 24 and under and also on the 25, which will share the same suspension layout as the SE. So you have that ground effect kit, you have the dual exhaust that's in the back, you're going to have the gloss black for the Camry print on the back, and you also get the upgraded headlights. The interior, though, you do have to add features, which is a little irritating, like I said. And you have to do the same thing also when you go into a 24 and under, but then the price will be substantially cheaper. Typically, when you go into XSE, you get the V6 variant, so you'll have a little bit more performance underneath it. Now you can get them decent price. The Bentley, yes, you can get them decent. My dad had the 20, okay. Yeah, I mean, the 2022 was when they got the refresh. Awesome vehicle. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Willie. And with the Infinity, sadly, the 25 variant, they have the VC turbocharged engine. So the only reason why I would consider keeping the 25, if that's what we get, is so that way I can bring it on the channel to see, because I've had a lot of comments where people say, oh, you know what, with the VC turbocharged engine, I haven't had any problems. It's bulletproof, this. But it's not 100% true. They do have a lot of things in the back end. I see it because I go to these dealerships. Now, if you maintain it and you drive it a certain way, I'm sure it's going to last a longer time. Should I get a 2019 Bentley Bentayga? I would recommend getting a 2019 because you're going to get the depreciation. Sorry, my battery is dying. If you're on the Discord, I'm not able to look at it right now because my battery's dying on my phone. And you can get those inexpensive, typically like 70, 80 grand. It's not inexpensive by any means, but it's a Bentley. 70, 80 grand for a Bentley is inexpensive. The only thing that you got to be cautious with if you go that route, check how many owners. Try not to have something much more than 3 owners deep, because once it gets 4, 5, 6 owners, service is gone. You're going to have a car that's a problematic vehicle. And a Bentley typically costs about $5,000 a year service. And it doesn't matter the year. So just be cautious with that. But with that being said, you could take the Bentley to an Audi dealer and get it serviced for a lot cheaper. Yeah, there you go, $75,000. So right on par. There was some other news I wanted to touch bases with Audi. They are doing the A5 plug-in hybrid. I don't know if it's going to be in North America. It hasn't been confirmed yet. I'm kind of excited for that because it's going to have some more performance. The CX-5 is getting a refresh. They said they're going to put the new engine in, which is kind of skeptical for me, but it's not going, and they're supposedly doing a hybrid variant that is going to be their hybrid variant, not powertrain, not the same powertrain as the Toyota. I heard Honeywell makes Infinity turbos. Honeywell makes a lot of turbos, actually. So it's not really the turbo design that's the problem. When it goes to the VC, it's a variable variable compression ratio. So what that means is, I'm going to try to show you. I'm putting my phone down. So it's like, so think of this as a piston. Well, they add another lever to the piston, and it regulates like this. So this movement here is by how you're pushing the gas pedal. So when you push it high, or when you mash the gas, it's going to have the compression ratio will go lower. And when you're going lower on it, the compression ratio will go higher. The difference between the two compression ratios is that you're getting optimal fuel or you're drinking fuel, meaning a 4-cylinder diesel MPGs opposed to a 6-cylinder traditional V6 engine MPGs. But with that being said, because they added that pulley, the shrapnel builds up in the interior because there's literally a pulley that connects it. So the first gen of the VC turbocharged engines, which came out in 2019, have some issues with that shrapnel buildup, in which they've been trying to do class action lawsuits. I don't believe in lawsuit America or lawsuit the world, because it doesn't get anywhere. I think that the companies should just own up and fix the thing. When it came out in 2019, it was considered one of the most engineered engines of its time, because no one's done this, where you get different compression ratios and different MPGs opposed to a turbo. Now you're getting it with the actual pulley. That's the difference between it. So it doesn't have anything to do with the turbo, it's the actual pulleys in the engine. It has 47,000, that's a lot of miles. Just be cautious with it. Yes, the Q9 is coming. I am very excited about that. A third row, it's off the Q7 platform. It's gonna have a 4-cylinder, it's gonna have a V8, so I'm really excited. And it's also gonna have the new MMI software, which, like I said on the previous live streams, the only glitch is when you get the entertainment package, it's not going to work as well. So when you're using your entertainment, the TV's in the back seat, you can't use 2 channels. They only have 1 channel, and they still haven't fixed this. I will further let you guys know whenever that update goes into place. Can you help me find a Bentley? I'll look at a Bentley and a Urus for you. For model year 2027, yes. Hopefully they'll work out all the kinks by 2027, but Audi is kind of all over the place right now. And the same thing with Porsche. Going back, they're going to be spending up to $1 billion bringing in combustion engines instead of going to the hybrid platform or full EV. I'm excited, though, that they're going this route, because now we're getting vehicles back that we potentially lost. Join the server and I can help you. Yeah, definitely join the server. Exactly. We have the server. I have the server over there. I'm sorry. I can't, I'm charging my phone at the moment. So if you guys are on the Discord, I'm not able to communicate right now, but definitely I will go back to it. I'm at 14%. What's the Discord? The Discord is on the community tab right now. So I don't know if you'll have to get off, but if you go into the community tab, you'll click that and you can join into the Discord. And then you can just come back into the live stream. But 47 is still low miles. So it's not because it's a Bentley. And service intervals are different. Plus, once you start getting 50,000 miles, you're going to have to be concerned about belts, spark plugs, which typically you go through every 4 years. So you're definitely going to have to do that. And on that, you may pay a $7,000, $8,000 service. So yeah, you'll spend less, but then you might have a $10,000 service bill. Because I love Volkswagen Group a lot. Okay, you're answering the question. That's nice. Oh, thank you. I upgraded my Mac. I had the, what was it, the M1 chip, and this is the M4 chip. They just came out with it when I bought it back in February, I think. It was the first ones out. Unfortunately, it's a smaller screen. They only had the 14-inch and a 16-inch. I had the larger screen in my M1, so I was a little disappointed, but I'm obviously used to it now. I would recommend doing the upgrade if you're doing a MacBook, because the M1, especially if you're doing uploads, like I do a ton of uploads, you see the videos that I do, and it's not that I'm doing them to get views. I do it because I get so much content from the dealerships. I just have a really good relationship with them, and some of the auto industry also pays me on the side, so I have to upload as much as possible, because I literally have months of vehicles that I've already uploaded and I've stored them, but I can't post them because I don't want to oversaturate the channel, which I'm thinking about doing a second channel so that way I can post some of those vehicles. Because like the RS6 Avant that I posted yesterday, that video I did 2 months ago. So that's what I mean. Some of the vehicles, even the Passport I just posted, that video I did 2 weeks ago. The Escalade IQ, I've been posting some of the things on TikTok, so if you get a chance, check it out. I have it on the homepage of Hawkeye Rides. You can check there. I do some cool things. I think I did how many bodies you can fit in an Escalade, so you should definitely check it out. It's pretty cool. I had my son with me on that one. Let me go back here because, okay, Range Rover is very unreliable. Do you recommend? Okay, they're talking to each other, sorry. This one is a Pro. I did a Pro. I didn't do the Air. The reason why I didn't do the Air, the Pro, you get a little bit more speed and it cools off faster. So the new M4 also adds more cooling fans, because I thought about getting an M2 chip. The M1, 2, the 2 and 3 is the same cooling. The 4 adds more cooling, and one of the biggest downfalls for the M1 chip for the Mac is that the cooling, literally my computer would get so hot that I would put ice underneath it. I tried the fans, I tried everything. Ice was the only thing I can get to work. And then whenever I put my hands on where the keyboard is, it would feel static electricity. So I was thinking, you know what, I'm gonna literally catch myself on fire editing videos and posting things. So that's why I went to get an M2 chip or an M3, and they said literally it's the same like cooling, and cooling was the #1 thing. So they said M4, they fixed the cooling, it's now faster, and you get better speeds. So go M4 if you're going for a MacBook Pro. This is, it's, okay, are the MK6 Jetta reliable, people? Okay. So Jetta itself, depending on how many owners and if they didn't do modifications, they are relatively reliable. But there is going to be some issues where you're going to have some oil leaks. Volkswagen has that. Even when you go into Porsche, you're going to have that happen, even if you're servicing the vehicle religiously. Typically, the miles that it happens is anywhere from 40 to 60,000 miles, which can be an expensive job, but with Volkswagen, with the Jetta, you could fix it yourself, and it's like very inexpensive. Like with my personal Infiniti, I had a 2013 and a 2024 we got rid of for the 2023. All of them we bought new. The 2023, I did the spark plugs. I also did the belts. I've done the pulleys. A lot of these services on vehicles, when people are like, oh, they're unreliable, this and this and this, they're easy to fix. Now, when you go into a Bentley or a Lamborghini, the reason why people say they're unreliable is those easy to fix components are not easy to fix. Now you actually have to remove drivetrains, or you have to remove like a good portion of the engine to get to something that is so simple that you can normally get to in other vehicles. So that's the only reason why whenever on these discussions people say Lamborghini Bentleys, yes, they're inexpensive whenever they get pre-owned, but then they're also 10 years old, 7 years old, something to take in consideration opposed to buying a brand new vehicle. Awesome vehicles if you can afford it, and the maintenance of it. Because at the end of the day, my theory is you can afford a Ferrari. It's just, can you maintain it? Can you afford the gas? Can you afford the insurance? Because all these things cost. A Lamborghini Urus, for instance, for me, 3 people on insurance would cost almost $3,000 for 6 months in Florida. I live in Tampa. Get the M4 Max. Get the M4, probably Mag. Oh, you're talking about that. Yeah. Yeah, it never gets hot at all. They didn't have a Max. I did the Pro. They only had the Pro. That was literally the only one that they had. And it never gets hot. The other day, I went to, who was it? So I did Cadillac, and we did Toyota, and sorry, I do a lot of dealerships a week. Sometimes it gets a little bit much. We did BMW, and there was another company we did, I think it was Audi as well. So I sit for like 12 hours all day, literally 12 hours editing videos. And that was just one day of work. I had 4 dealerships to edit. I did all that. My computer was not, like, to give you for the temperature, you know how iPhones get hot on the back? It didn't feel like that. It felt like when you're holding your phone to your ear where it's not hot. That's how it was. So I would recommend the Pro. Max is obviously going to be better if you can. I mean, now they have a ton of them, but when I went to buy it, they didn't have it. So I just went with the Pro. Have you ever been Busch Gardens? Yes, I went to Busch Gardens. It's been a little while. They've upgraded some of the rides. I do need to go. Have you been to Busch Gardens recently, Willie? So I have I think mine's like a 13 or 14, and I have just 64 gigabytes on my iPhone. I didn't do anything. I got the smaller version. The reason why is I do drone work. I haven't been doing the drone work. If it's something that you guys would like to see, my older videos, I believe 2022 videos and under, you can see some of the drone work that I did. I have over 4,000 hours of drone work where I would take the vehicles and I would actually fly the drone while I'm driving the vehicle at the same time. If it's something you guys are, think would be cool to bring back to the channel, I'll do that. It just didn't seem to get a lot of, people didn't seem to be really responsive to it. So that's why I stopped doing it. Do you recommend a 2022 SQ8? Yes. 2022, I would recommend it. If you go to the 24, though, you'll get the updates. The 22, you'll get a little bit better in the value because the depreciation. Plus, you may get 1 year of a warranty depending on when they bought it. The Macs are better with multimedia, has more cores. Yes. Well, like I said, I couldn't get the Max. All they had was the Pro. I did state the Max is going to be better, but with the Pro, I haven't had any issues, and I actually doubled with all my power from the M1 chip. So I figured if I'm doubling everything from M1 to go to the M4, the Pro is going to be more than enough. Even I have all the specs where we're talking about cars. Sometimes I get it a little bit mixed in between. I'm going to go, I keep getting some messages from the Discord, so we're going to go over here for just a couple seconds, check out what's going on. I guess people are just joining in on it. Okay, it's the 12, 13, 14, doesn't have 64. I can't flip my phone to see. I'll look on, I know I have 64 gigabytes because I use for pictures whenever I'm getting keys for the vehicles, and whenever I'm going, I always take pictures for insurance purposes because sometimes even with new vehicles, you'll have curved wheels. I don't want to pay for a curved wheel. So I have like nothing but pictures on my phone. It's been a very long time since I've been to Busch Gardens. Yeah, Busch Gardens has been a while. Yes, definitely bring back the drones, Anthony. Okay, Sean, I will do so. I love the SQ8. Any thoughts on doing APR stage 1 on a Jetta, or should I stay stock? So I had a friend that did it, and he actually went back stock. I didn't ask him why he went back stock, but he was all about the APR stage 1. He thought it was awesome, and it did, like, it was faster, but he went back stock. So it's just, I don't know, you can go either way on that. I usually recommend try it out, get it stock, because obviously you're looking to get it, Willie. Pick it up stock, drive it for a few months, see how it is. Maybe even look and see to find, because there's a lot of followers into the Jetta where you can go on Facebook and do some car meets and then see there before you start investing. I usually like to do that. Or, I mean, I personally would do the stage 1, but when he changed it back to stock, it just kind of threw me off a little bit. We're going to end the live stream today. We have a few things. Today's the last day of Ramadan. So anybody that's on here that's Muslim, Eid Mubarak. Thank you guys very much for coming out to the live stream. And check out the memberships. We are trying to add a few more things. We're just having some updates and things. For some reason, every time at the end of the month, YouTube has a lot of different things they're doing, and it kind of messes up things on the channel. I hope you guys have a great weekend and look forward to seeing you guys. Have a good day. Can we chat on the Discord? Yes, I'll leave the Discord open for a little bit longer. I have to go pray. Have an excellent day, guys. Thank you again for coming out and look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. Take care, Willie.